Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into the exciting world of Deepseek R1 reasoning model that turning heads in AI community. We will break this down step by step and sprinkle in some examples, and by end of this video you will know why Deepseek R1 is such a big deal. So let's jump in. So here, let's start with the basics. Deepseek recently open sourced two versions of their model, which is Deepseek R1.0 and they have upgraded version Deepseek R1. So if you're just reading their GitHub page and you're just overwhelmed with all the technical jargons, don't worry, I've got you covered. Let me simplify that for you. So let's go step by step. Let's learn what is Deepseek R1.0 model. So this was their first attempt at creating a reasoning model, and it generally relied heavily on a technique called reinforcement learning, and we call it as RL. Here is an easy way to think about RL model. Like imagine you teaching a toddler how to play chess. Instead of giving a toddler instructions all the time, you let the toddler make moves even it goes wrong, but you will just reward the toddler whenever they are getting closer to win. So over the time they figured out how to play better. So that's essential how Deepseek R1.0 learned to reason. It taught itself through trial and error. So now what it can do? So it is good at solving tricky logic problems and make some solid decisions without needing a ton of examples. But here is a catch. Like this particular Deepseek R1 model um, wasn't that perfect. It has a few problems which are like it's going into endless loops. Like sometimes it got stuck repeating itself. It's like asking someone for directions and just keep saying like take left, take right, these kind of things. And then it was also giving the responses which were not super clear. Like imagine someone is asking for a recipe and it's just getting back with the answers like add the thing and then take the bowl. So these kind of things. And it mixed with the languages. So it's not great if you're asking someone some technical help in English, and if someone replies to you in Spanish, that is not a good way of communication, right? So these were the general problems which Deepseek R1.0 was facing, and it was promising at the very beginning, but it had some serious problems or edge cases, I can say. So to fix these problems, Deepseek came back with an upgraded model, which is Deepseek R1. So they used some extra training data, which we call as cold start data, basically giving the model a solid foundation of training before it jumped into reinforcement learning. So this particular cold start data will help the model more stable, readable, and accurate. So, and we can see the result like Deepseek R1 is now almost as good as OpenAI O1 when when it comes to math, coding, and logical reasoning tasks, and really that's a big deal now. So, and one more thing which is exciting about Deepseek is uh, they didn't just keep this model locked up. They decided to share it with the world. Yes, as they have open sourced the models, the original model which is Deepseek R1.0. This model can be used by researchers to study and improve its learning behavior, and upgraded version which is Deepseek R1. So people can use it uh, for better performance with the fewer issues. And not only these things, they have also out open sourced 6 distilled models. They are very small, more efficient versions of Deepseek R1, which are easier to use, and those are like very popular on architectures. Like sorry, they are based on the architectures of Llama and Quen. So those informations were already mentioned in here. You can just go through all of these things. And now maybe let's talk about like what exactly is a distilled model. So this is where things get really cool. Distilled models are like light versions of AI. Think like a diet soda version of AI, which is lighter, faster, and easier to run on your hardware. For example, one of their models like Deepseek R1 Distilled Quen, so which I can show you here. So these are the models which they have open sourced, and these are the two base models I can say. And this first model, which is not first model, I guess. I think it's all in written here. I think this particular model, which is 32p, this model actually outperforms OpenAI's smaller model like O1 Mini, and it's really breaking records for reasoning task in dense models. And let's go back to this particular image here. So here we can see all the benchmarks on the x-axis and accuracy in percentiles in y-axis. So now let's go one by one, like this particular task. So what this is about? So this particular thing measures performance on tough math problems. Think of it like solving high school Olympiad level questions. And here we can see that Deepseek R1 edges out OpenAI O1 1-to-1 model, 1 to 7 by a fraction, while smaller models like Deepseek R1 32B and OpenAI O1 Mini are still decent. And now let's jump to the other metric, which is code forces. So this benchmark test problem solving and programming skills in a competitive coding environment. So, and here we can see that Deepseek R1 is a beast here, like competing head to head with OpenAI O1 1-to-17. So that's another thing. And GPQA Diamond. So this particular benchmark measures the ability to answer complex questions that require some logical interference and reasoning. And we can clearly see here it Deepseek R1 excels here, and we can see the winner is OpenAI O1 1-to-17. And the next thing is Math 500. So this is a pure test of mathematical reasoning. So, and we can clearly see here that Deepseek R1 shines here. It is where math nerds would cheer. Like it solves problems at almost perfection levels. For anyone working on AI models for education or tutoring, this level of performance is like a gold. And we have another metric, which is MMLU. So this particular metric is a general knowledge test across diverse subjects like history, science, and literature. And we can also see here that it's also giving a head-to-head competition with OpenAI O1 1-to-17 model. And the last but not least, which is SWE Bench Verified. So this particular benchmark measures the ability to handle software engineering specific tasks like debugging or validating code. So this is a big win, and we can see that Deepseek R1 is a hero here. So software engineering is very tricky, as you know. It's not just about writing the code, but understanding the logic behind it. And R1 edges out the OpenAI O1 1-to-17 model, and it leaves smaller models struggling. So we can see the other models are with the benchmarks of 36.8, 41.6, and 42 percentiles. So you can simply think of like it's comparing a senior engineer to a junior intern in your team. And now we can think of like why does Deepseek matter? Deepseek R1 is open and accessible to everyone. Like unlike other AI models, it's fully open source with a MIT license. That means like you can use it for your commercial projects, personal experiments, or whatever you want. No complicated licenses to really worry about. And Deepseek even gives you free API access. No credit card is needed, no subscription is needed. Just sign up and start using it. So I'll even show that. So presently, when we just go here, we can see that Deepseek R1 is now live and open source, so you can use it. So when we just click on here, so we will be getting all those top statements that we have just discussed, and we can see even here the benchmarks, the same thing. And then there will be an API here. Yeah, so when I'm just going on to the API page, I'm facing error like 503. It's stating that it's under maintenance. I think there I've seen in the Twitter that this particular Deepseek R1 model is getting a lot of traction and traffic, so they are still they are just pulling up all the servers, I guess, but we can experiment once it is back. But moving back to our topic here, and like now we can just think like this Deepseek matters because it's a real kicker for developers. Deepseek AI is 27 times cheaper than OpenAI. Imagine this, like for a project that costs around $270 on ChatGPT, you're just paying $10 with the Deepseek. And if you're a tech person, you can even self-host it. So with the GPU prices which are dropping off with NVIDIA and all other companies, this Deepseek, like with this Deepseek models, you can just run them locally on your GPUs. And it's really giving you complete control over your AI models, like no cloud dependencies or privacy concerns. And if we have to talk about like who exactly can get benefited with the DeepSeek, like for students, this is a ultimate study buddy, I can say. DeepSeek doesn't just give answers; it walks you through its thought process, like step by step. Whether it's solving any math problem or cracking logic puzzles, you're learning how to think critically instead of just memorizing answers. It's giving you everything step by step. And for consultants, DeepSeek is like hiring a junior analyst, I can say, so who never sleeps or take breaks. Like imagine you're handling a very messy Excel sheet at midnight and waking up some uh, professional memo, like summarizing some financial trends, risk or opportunities, and it's like very fast. It's very good at its logical reasoning, and it gives you a perfect answers or perfect report by in within minutes. So that is a really saver for you. And even small business owners can use this, because you cannot always go to experts and pay them a lot of fee, and DeepSeek can save you here. It just acts like an expert. You can just pay it a minimal fee. For example, if you're just um, handling some contracts, or searching about some trademarks, or maybe if you are doing any particular business, you can just feed this particular model like about your task, and it will give you uh, a answer which like almost like an expert. And this means like you're saving time and your money. And as I earlier told, that this DeepSeek is really about pricing. Like everyone is talking about its pricing, because everywhere DeepSeek is shining in all those benchmarks. And at the same time, OpenAI wants $20 a month for premium access, but DeepSeek says just have fun, use API for free. Just pay me a very little amount. It's in India, I think it's only $2 that we have to pay, which is very minimal. Like Google, sorry, this DeepSeek API is 27 times cheaper. Plus, it's like open source, so you can have full control on it.